A trailer for Avengers Doomsday just leaked online and got scrubbed from the internet within hours. Marvel is desperately trying to keep this under wraps, but people screen recorded it, and what they captured changes everything we thought we knew about this movie. The footage shows the X-Men finally entering the MCU in full force, and it's not a gentle introduction. Magneto, Professor X, Cyclops, and the entire X-Mansion are under siege by Doctor Doom, and from what we can see, it looks like an absolute massacre. Today, I'm walking you through exactly what this leaked trailer reveals, from Magneto's chilling opening monologue to the destruction of the X-Mansion to Cyclops, unleashing the most comic-accurate optic blast we've ever seen on screen, and how this all connects to Marvel's master plan for assembling every hero in the MCU against one unstoppable villain. So what exactly did this trailer show, and why is Marvel panicking? Before we get into that, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any breaking Marvel news, because these leaks are getting taken down fast. The leak that started it. The trailer appeared online seemingly out of nowhere on a random Tuesday afternoon. Someone filmed it off a theater screen during what was probably a private screening or a test showing for industry insiders. The quality was grainy and shaky, the kind of bootleg footage you'd expect from someone sneaking their phone past security, but that didn't matter. Within minutes, the clip was spreading across Twitter, Reddit, and every Marvel fan forum on the planet. People were losing their minds. The X-Men were finally here, not as cameos or brief appearances, but as full characters in the MCU with costumes and action sequences and dialogue. Marvel's legal team went into overdrive. The trailer started disappearing from every platform almost as fast as it appeared. YouTube pulled it down, Twitter accounts sharing it got suspended, Reddit threads vanished. It was like watching a digital game of whack-a-mole, except the mole was a 30-second clip of Cyclops blasting Sentinels into rubble. But here's the thing about the internet. Once something leaks, it never truly dies. People had already screen recorded it, downloaded it, re-uploaded it to obscure file-sharing sites. The footage was out there and Marvel knew it. Instead of doing more damage control, they made a calculated decision. They would release the official trailer on Thursday as planned, just a few days after the leak. This wasn't the first time Marvel dealt with leaks, but this one was different because it confirmed something fans had been speculating about for months. Jeff Snyder, a reliable entertainment reporter, had been saying for weeks that the third Avengers Doomsday trailer would focus on the X-Men, and he was right. The leak proved it. Now, the question wasn't whether the X-Men were in the movie, but how they were being used and why their introduction looked so brutal. Magneto's dark warning. The trailer opens with Magneto's voice, deep and worn, speaking over shots of the X-Mansion. He sounds tired, like a man who has fought too many battles and knows another one is coming. His words are simple but heavy. Death comes for us all. That's all I know for sure. The question isn't, are you prepared to die? The question is, who would you be when you close your eyes? As he speaks, we see the mansion in a state of eerie stillness. The building looks old, weathered, like nobody has lived there in years. Dust floats through shafts of light in empty hallways. The famous plaque that reads Professor Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters is tarnished and overgrown with vines. This isn't the bustling academy we remember from the Fox X-Men movies. This is a place that has been abandoned or forgotten. Then we see him. Magneto sitting in a dim room, his hair long and gray, wearing what looks like a simple robe. He doesn't have his helmet or his costume. He looks like someone who retired from war and is trying to live quietly. Across from him sits Professor X, wearing a leather jacket with a small X emblem stitched onto the chest. He looks older too, more tired, but his eyes are sharp. These two men, lifelong rivals and reluctant allies, are having a conversation that feels like a goodbye. The staging of this scene is deliberate. Marvel isn't showing us the X-Men at their peak. They're showing us heroes who have already fought their wars, who have already lost people, who have built something fragile and are now watching it crumble. Magneto's monologue isn't just philosophizing about death, it's a warning. He knows something is coming. But here's what makes this scene even more interesting. The X-Mansion looks abandoned, but we know from previous leaks that Magneto has successfully created Genosha, his mutant utopia, somewhere else in this universe. So why are he and Professor X meeting at the old mansion? The most likely answer is they're expecting an attack. They know Doctor Doom is coming, and they're using the mansion as a meeting point or a trap. Whatever the reason, they're not surprised when the Sentinels show up. This conversation was never about if they would be attacked, but about who they wanted to be when it happened. And that brings us to the moment that made every X-Men fan lose their minds. Cyclops unleashed. The trailer cuts to Cyclops standing alone in the ruins of the X-Mansion. Everything around him is destroyed. Walls are collapsed. Fire is burning in the background, and then we see it. A massive metallic leg partially visible through the smoke. A Sentinel leg? These aren't just rumors anymore. The Sentinels are real, and they've already done their damage. Cyclops reaches up and removes his visor. For a split second, his eyes are closed. Then he opens them and unleashes an optic blast so powerful it lights up the entire screen. The beam is thick and glowing, pure energy tearing through everything in its path. This is the Cyclops fans have been begging to see for decades. Not the watered-down version from previous movies where his power was barely a light show. This is Cyclops as he should be, a living weapon, one of the most powerful mutants on the planet. His costume is perfect. All blue, no unnecessary armor or tactical gear, just the classic suit with the X-belt and the strap across his chest. Some reports say he's not wearing the trunks, which has always been a point of debate with comic costumes, but honestly, if he's wearing the belt and the rest of the suit looks this good, nobody's complaining. This scene happens right as Magneto finishes his monologue, saying the question is, who would you be when you close your eyes? Cyclops closes his eyes, removes the visor, and lets loose. It's poetic. It's brutal. It's exactly what this character deserves, but here's the bigger picture. Cyclops is standing in the ruins, which means the attack has already happened. The mansion is destroyed. People are probably dead. This isn't the beginning of the fight. This is the end or close to it. And if Cyclops is the one still standing, still fighting, that tells us he survives this assault. But what about everyone else? What about Professor X and Magneto? And more importantly, who sent the Sentinels? That's where Dr. Doom comes in, and this is where Marvel's plan starts to make terrifying sense. Doom's master plan. Dr. Doom isn't just the villain of Avengers Doomsday. He's positioning himself as the savior of the multiverse, at least in his own mind. According to leaks from the set, Doom believes the multiverse is collapsing because of the Avengers and their reckless actions across timelines. He sees incursions, realities crashing into each other as proof that heroes are the problem, and his solution is to take control. To do that, he needs power, and he needs to eliminate threats. The X-Men, particularly mutants like Professor X and Magneto, represent a significant threat. Professor X is one of the most powerful telepaths in existence. Magneto can control metal and has led mutant armies. If Doom is going to rule over a unified multiverse or create Battleworld, he can't have someone like Charles Xavier reading his mind or Eric Lenscher rallying mutants against him, so he does what any strategic dictator would do. He sends Sentinels. These aren't just any Sentinels though. Based on the set leaks from Unbox PhD, who captured drone footage of the Avengers Doomsday set months ago, these Sentinels are different. They're magical. Doom, who wields both technology and sorcery, has repurposed Sentinel technology and enhanced it with magic. This makes them nearly unstoppable because mutants have fought Sentinels before. They know how to disable robots. But robots powered by magic? That's a different fight entirely. The drone footage showed broken Sentinel parts scattered across a set designed to look like the X-Mansion grounds. Giant metal limbs, shattered torsos, pieces of machinery embedded in dirt and debris. At the time, people speculated, but now the trailer confirms it. Doom attacks the mansion, probably when most of the X-Men are somewhere else, maybe at Genosha. Professor X and Magneto are there, possibly because they sensed the attack coming. Maybe Charles used Cerebro and saw Doom's plan. Maybe they have a mutant who can see the future. Either way, they knew. But knowing doesn't mean they can stop it. The Sentinels tear through the mansion. The building that once represented hope for mutants, a safe place to learn and grow, is reduced to rubble, and this is just one piece of Doom's larger plan. Because the X-Men aren't the only heroes he's going after. Make sure you're subscribed, because we're about to break down how this trailer fits into Marvel's entire marketing strategy and what it reveals about the other teams Doom is targeting. Marvel's trailer strategy. Marvel isn't releasing random trailers. They're telling a story across 4 separate pieces of marketing, each one focusing on a different group of heroes and showing how Dr. Doom is a threat to all of them. The first trailer focused on Captain America. We saw Steve Rogers in a world that looked slightly different, probably his universe in the multiverse, and the implication was that Doom is coming for him. Doom wants revenge or needs to eliminate Steve for some reason tied to the multiverse collapse. The second trailer centered on Thor. We saw him battered, exhausted, praying to Odin for strength. The leaked audio had Thor saying something like he's facing an enemy he can't defeat alone. That enemy is Doom. Thor, a literal god, is struggling. That tells you how powerful Doom is in this movie. Now the third trailer, the one that just leaked, is all about the X-Men. Doom sends Sentinels to destroy the mansion and presumably kill or capture key mutants like Professor X and Magneto. He's not just attacking one group, he's systematically targeting every major hero faction in the MCU. And there's still one more trailer coming. According to Jeff Snyder, who correctly predicted the X-Men trailer, the fourth and final trailer will focus on the Fantastic Four and Wakanda. This makes sense because the Fantastic Four are on Earth 616 in the MCU now, and Wakanda has always been a major power on that Earth. We've also heard rumors that this trailer might show other heroes like Loki or characters from different corners of the MCU. The pattern is clear. Doom is the common enemy. He's the threat that forces everyone to unite. The Avengers, the Thunderbolts, the Fantastic Four, Wakanda, the X-Men, all of them are going to come together to stop him. But here's the kicker. We already know they fail. Set leaks and plot rumors have confirmed that Avengers Doomsday ends with Doom winning. The multiverse collapses. Battleworld is created. Doom becomes the ruler of what's left. Secret Wars will be about the heroes trying to overthrow him. So these trailers aren't just hyping up a big team-up movie. They're showing us the beginning of the end. They're showing us heroes at their most vulnerable, fighting their hardest and still losing. And that makes the stakes feel real in a way Marvel hasn't achieved since Infinity War. But there's something else happening in these trailers that's easy to miss. Marvel is reintroducing the X-Men not as newcomers but as veterans. These aren't young mutants just discovering their powers. These are heroes who have already fought wars, built schools, created nations, and now they're being dragged into someone else's war. What this means for the future. The X-Men showing up in Avengers Doomsday isn't just a cameo, this is their official entry into the MCU, and Marvel is doing it in the smartest way possible. They're not rebooting the X-Men from scratch, they're not giving us another origin story about teenagers learning to use their powers. They're pulling in characters who already exist in the multiverse, characters who have history and weight, and throwing them into the biggest conflict the MCU has ever seen. Cyclops in his perfect blue suit blasting Sentinels. Magneto sitting in the ruins of the mansion, knowing death is coming and accepting it. Professor X wearing his X jacket, ready to fight one more time. These are heroes who have lived full lives, and now they're being tested again. If they survive Doomsday, and we know at least some of them will, because Secret Wars is coming, they'll become permanent fixtures in the MCU. We'll probably get standalone X-Men movies, Disney Plus shows, crossovers with the Avengers. This is the beginning of the mutant era in the MCU, and Marvel is starting it with an explosion. The leak also tells us something about how Marvel views the X-Men. They're not secondary characters, they're not side players. They're equals to the Avengers, equals to the Fantastic Four, equals to everyone else. The fact that they get their own trailer, that they're part of this 4-trailer marketing strategy, proves Marvel sees them as essential. And the fan reaction to this leak proves the audience agrees. People have been waiting 25 years to see the X-Men done right in a connected universe, to hear the Avengers theme playing over footage of Cyclops and Magneto and Professor X. That's not an exaggeration. The first X-Men movie came out in 2000. It's been a quarter century of Fox movies, some great, some awful, but all disconnected from the larger Marvel universe. Now that's over. Now the X-Men are home, and their arrival is marked by fire and destruction and a villain so powerful he can control Sentinels with magic. If you're a fan, this is everything you've wanted. If you're Marvel, this is the culmination of decades of planning and negotiation and creative risk. And if you're Doctor Doom, this is just the beginning. Because after he's done with the X-Men, after he's done with Thor and Captain America and the Fantastic Four, he's going to reshape the entire multiverse in his image. And the only thing that can stop him is every hero in existence working together. That's the story Avengers Doomsday is telling, and this leaked X-Men trailer just gave us the first real glimpse of how brutal that story is going to be.